Hello, it's Scott Manley here with part 12 of How the Hell Do I Play Eve. I'm playing through the epic arc and I have been going for like 2 weeks now, I think. Let's see what our status is. Well, I'm out of training. If you look, I've got 2 hours left on the skill queue. It's very important you always keep your skill queue full. And I've been training a bunch of stuff to like level 2, but you see, or level 3 even. And all these things help. Now, I've picked up a bunch of new skill books because, as I've pointed out, that it's better to have lots of low-level skills and then all the bonuses are good, rather than focusing on single skills and training them all the way up to 5 because it will take forever. So what do we have? Energy and mission systems. Now, these are very useful because, or at least in PvP they are very useful because you need these for Nosferatu and energy neutralizers. If you want to take your opponent's capacitor away, you need this skill. This is also, to a lesser extent, is used by logistics ships to transfer capacitor to targets. Fuel conservation reduces the amount of energy I need to run my afterburner. Light missiles are basically the long-range version of frigate-sized rockets, and I'm going to be training those for my I'm going to be training these. And why isn't this in the queue? It's supposed to be in the queue, and it's not rendering correctly. Apply this. That's funny. Ah, there we go. Apparently I'm training light missiles twice, but the UI isn't rendering it. Ha! Come on! Where are you? There we go. Light missiles 1, light missiles 2. Well, we'll stick everything in there. Mass production efficiency. Rapid launch increases the damage, increases the rate at which you fire missiles. Retail is a skill. Shield compensation reduces the capacitor need for my shield boosters, which is good. If you remember, I only have a limited amount of time to run my shield boosters. Target navigation prediction means that my missiles will do more damage to speeding targets. Shield rigging will let me fit rigs that will improve my shields, which is good because my shields are currently getting hammered to death by some of these targets. And those are all the skill books that I bought. They're going to train, so we just need to kind of continue to find the level 1 skills and boost those up to make sure that we're actually ready for the cruiser when we get to it. So what do we need? Hull upgrades possibly. Rapid launch is a good thing. We'll train that. Target navigation prediction. Just get everything that's level 1 to level 2, and that's the way it works. We don't really care about archaeology and salvaging and stuff just now. Salvaging, actually, you could care about. It's nice because it lets you salvage wrecks and make a little more money. I perhaps should actually train that. Why don't I do that? Actually, why don't I not do that? Because otherwise it will take forever. I'll maybe... how much money do I have? And it's saying 6.2 million. I'm still trying to work my way towards that cruiser, which will cost me about 10 million. Let's put shield compensation in there. And tactical shield manipulation is nice to... Oh, that's going to take me a long time to get to level 3. So let's put some other things in there. Hull upgrades, definitely a bonus. Okay, apply this and close the skill queue and get away from this weird glitch, whatever that is. Yes, apply those changes. Show me the skill queue in action. Oh, now you're really broken. Oh, yes. There we go. Yeah, I gotta fill this up. Tactical shield manipulation is all interesting and all that, but you know what? We should fit some other level 2s in there first. Actually, we should also really, before we get tactical shield manipulation up, we should probably get some more drone skills. Shield compensation, yeah, that will go in there. That'll be nice. Just looking for things that are level 2 and saying, can we make them level 3 in a reasonable time? That's great. Okay, we're gonna accept that. Apply, and let's get going. So we have this mission arc we're continuing. If you remember, I switched back to long-range weapons, long-range artillery, and long-range is a relative term. So we are now going to be tracking the Queen. So we're going to find... We must take Corin Rista from Arnon to this location. So I'm going to set destination, add the waypoint so I come back. And then when I bring this up, I should see Corin. Corin Rista goes here. And off we go. This will take but a few minutes. I think the game is running a little slowly right now, perhaps because I'm uploading something to YouTube. I'm just being all excited over the new Star Citizen hangar thing. And I had to post that as soon as possible because, you know, everybody's doing it. Yes, so obviously my network is running really slowly and this is perhaps being a little less responsive than I'd like. Hopefully it won't matter too much. In fact, this is a great example of how the game behaves when the network is terribly lagged out and slow. I mean, the original release of EVE, they set themselves the goal of making it playable over a modem connection, and actually it can be playable if you try to avoid large crowds of people, but given that it only sends and receives data on a 1 second cycle, it's not like a first person shooter where it's having to send out Twitch, you know, level data to every single client. It just needs to say, I'm approaching this target, and then everybody will model that particular approach. And since everybody knows what everyone else is doing, the physics model all agrees and everybody sees the same thing. It's rather ingenious the way it works. But that does mean that you can't fly the whole thing with a joystick. Yep, here we are, coming out the other side. Yes, there we go. And we are going to Aten. Let's should bring up the autopilot here. Yes, just another jump here. Is there anything in this space to see? What is that? BTJ, unidentified site. You know what? I also need to fix my shields. I'm down to... I've lost 10% of my armor, which is not good because this thing is not really set up for protection from armor damage. Now I'm thinking of maybe putting some shield rigs in here to help me in the future, make me tougher. But then again, maybe I should just save my money and really try to get in that cruiser. The sooner I get in that cruiser, the sooner I'm going to be making some real... I'll be invulnerable, essentially. Cruisers will be able to do a lot more damage, and they'll be able to deal with the bad guys a lot more quickly. Although, to be fair, cruisers will have a harder time hitting a lot of the frigates you find in these missions, so it's entirely possible that flying around in a destroyer will be more dangerous. It will kill them more quickly, but it's also more likely to kill you quickly. And you saw the problem I had with those bounty hunters, right? Well, I'm hoping I won't run into a similar problem with a certain rogue drone that may be coming along in the next mission, from what I hear. I've been this way before, and I seem to remember that the next mission may be the first time you see drones with warp scramblers, in which case you could see me lose my spaceship. And I will try not to cry, because I have played by the Magic Eve mantra of don't fly which you can't afford to lose. I'm actually more concerned that the slow network traffic may actually cause me to fail. Oh, there we go, we're docked now. Yeah, it does seem to be a little less sprightly. So what happens when you saturate your upstream connection to makes your downstream rather more laggy than it otherwise would be? But that's a nice layer. Look, I've already paid for some of those skill books. We're gonna head home now. Oh, undock. There, we're undocking. Oh look, we're in Aten. This is a 0.7 security system. Undocking operation already in process. There we go. I wonder how many asteroid belts are in here. Let's just take a look. Asteroid belts. We should try these. Since we're in a 0.7 sec system, let's go and see if there are any pirates in the asteroid belts. Now, one of the ways to make money is in the old days before missions was you would literally fly into asteroid belts and bad guys would spawn and you would kill them. So I want to kind of show you, I want to find some because I want to show you how they're different from the regular ones. Now if you remember when we were fighting against Serpentis, it was like the Corelli was how they were labelled. Well, they will actually be Serpentis when you see them in belts. There's mission versions of the bad guys, and there are belt versions, and here we have a Serpentis spy, and he will see his bounty is bigger than a mission one. Look at these asteroids, no one's been mining them. That seems like such a shame. Okay, Okay, we're gonna get in range faster, hopefully. There's the sun there. What does it say about this sun? Oh, there he's targeting me. Okay, are we in range yet? Yes, we are in range. No, we're still not in range. 31 kilometers, there we go. And then fire my guns. It's going straight towards him. Ah, nice. So let's actually see what happens. I'm flying straight towards him, see if I can kill him. Oh yeah, I guess I did kill him. Now, he immediately drops a wreck with stuff in it. You see it's the filled triangle. That's because asteroid belt versions of the NPCs always drop more loot. Their wrecks salvage for more, their bounties are higher. Basically, they're better all round than the mission stuff. It's just they're not reliable. Plus, in belts, you have a small chance of finding like a guardian or finding a faction level rat, a much better dude. He's a bit tougher, but generally the whole point is that he has some nice loot in his wreck when you kill him. And also when you salvage the ship, you get Tech 2 salvage. And Tech 2 salvage is actually pretty awesome because you can build Tech 2 rigs. And Tech 2 rigs are way more valuable than Tech 1 rigs. And we should actually take a look at this. Purger. So we have large core defense field Purger is 19 million. The Tech 2 version is 199 million. So Tech 2 rigs, vastly more expensive. Actually, the standard for Tech 2 rigs is the Trimark. Capital Trimark Armor Bump. That's 12 million, and the Tech 2 version is 200 million. There you go. Trimarks, what they do is you fit them on armor, and they give you extra armor hit points. They give you an extra 20% armor hit points. So a lot of ships will just have Trimarks, because they are awesome. Okay, I just got metal scrap, so I kind of wasted my time here. Let's see if I can... Where is the place I'm going? Okay, so here's an interesting thing. See how I've clicked on warp towards the gate, and my speed is just bouncing up and down? What I'm trying to do is fly through this asteroid. The gate, I'm not able to escape because of this asteroid. This is something to be aware of. If you're in a mission or something, and you just get stuck warping, hold control in space to brake so that you can fly away from what's blocking you. Then once you've flown away, then do your warp and jump. This one here is warp, and this one here is warp and then jump. Generally, if you click something like open cargo, for example, it will fly within range and then open the cargo. Similarly, if you click jump through a gate, you have to be within like 1.5 or 2.5 kilometers to jump through a gate. So if you're not in that range, you'll either approach it or you will warp towards it depending upon your distance. The magic distance for warps, incidentally, is 150 kilometers. If you are inside 150 kilometers, you cannot warp the distance, but if you're inside that distance, you can warp it. And that is hugely tactically useful. Generally, when you're flying around in nullsec, you'll create perches just off the gates, maybe a couple of 100 kilometers out. These are places where you can sit a decent distance off the gate, check to see if it is camped, if there's any guards, and then once it's clear, you can warp straight to the gate. The idea is that if you're warping through nullsec, sometimes the locals will set up what are called drag bubbles. Now, if you remember the warp disruption bubble that was set up to stop people escaping, you can also set them up in line with somebody's warp vector, and it will drag you into that if your warp vector is lined up with that. And that matters because, of course, you'll set these things up so it drags you 100 kilometers past the gate, and then you have to turn around and slow boat it back. You can't just warp to the gate, and that gives the bad guys plenty of time to track you down and stop you. So if you set your warp points 200 kilometers off the gate at an angle, you're never going to get caught by these bubbles, and you can decide how to approach the gate safely. So yeah, that's a useful thing to know about traveling through nullsec. When you're traveling through lowsec, best option is generally just to fly fast Unless you see a bunch of people with red skulls and local that are known for smart bombing. Because the easiest way to catch somebody in low sec is to sit on a gate at the warp-in distance with a battleship that is loaded with smart bombs, and then as somebody warps in, you basically light up all your smart bombs and they fly through your giant cloud of death. And you get some nice kill mails. And that was quite a popular pastime. To the extent that somebody once lost a Titan doing this. They had sat their Titan on a couple of gates and they were on a gate and they were just killing things, and then they get dropped and, well, they didn't last very long and they had one of the most embarrassing ship fits ever. Okay, so Sister Alituria, what has she got for me? Tracking the Queen. We deliver a more secure okay, deliver the drone tracking data to the jet can. Return to me after the job is done. Excellent. Let's go and get this drone tracking data up there. So this is the reverse of a courier. This is, we're going in the other direction. Drone tracking data. Let's send the Thrasher out with this. This is, you see the rewards are really getting up quite a bit now. That's going to be 350,000 ISK for a level 1 mission. That is a lot of money. Okay, knowledge is power. It's tracking the Queen. Warp to location. Information is the most precious commodity in the EVE universe, but it comes at many costs. Ethical decline, moral malaise, personal extortion, or even bodily harm. Some denizens consider these aspects to be major obstacles, others consider them personal challenges. Those that are successful, though, end up with monetary riches. But at what cost? Oh my god, I can feel my soul being destroyed by being an immortal capsuleer. Yes. Ooh, yeah, I have my clones set up everywhere. Okay, delivery jet can. This seems suspicious. Doesn't it seem odd to you, these clandestine machinations for a single drone? I've sold more important information to seedier clients. And right in front of a Concord station, no less. There's more to this deal than they're letting on. I reckon I'm gonna get shot at soon. What kind of ammunition do I have? I still have depleted uranium. Let's reload. We have fairly exceptionally good range on this. Optimal range 14 kilometers. What are my other options? Maybe I have titanium sabot. Yeah, I get a pile of that. Let's try that instead. Titanium sabot gives me slightly better tracking, which is a nice thing when you have artillery, because the artillery has terrible tracking. There's a thing called signature radius, and basically ships that are big have bigger signature radiuses, and they tend to be more easy to hit by things like missiles and stuff. Okay, nothing found. Let's ditch this in here. Okay, we're getting out of here. There's the capsuleer. What does this say? Mortu's bounty hunter. This is the one that I want to kill. Keep it range 30 kilometers. See, he's slowing me down, so I'm going to start killing him. What does the mission say? Have I completed it? Because if it says objectives complete, I can just warp out. Where's the CBD? Sisters of Eve. Let's just warp to the Sisters of Eve station. I don't need to kill these guys. I can just warp out. Problem solved. Oof. That's pretty hard. I should probably turn on my hardeners as well. That's always an embarrassing thing when you realise that you've been taking damage and you haven't turned on your hardeners. Of course, the whole point about cap warfare, when I was talking about using energy neutralizers, is if you can cut down the amount of power you have, then you can remove these hardeners. And that's quite common, very important on things like super capitals and things like that, where you want to make sure that they can't regenerate or can't run their reps. And here, never mind. Oh look, there's an Algos. Look at that.
Docking permission requested.
Look. No. I thought it would let me look at it. No. Okay, never mind. It's not going to let me look at it. There it is, flying away. That's why you can't look at it, because he was warping. Well, that was a rather easy mission. This important thing is to make sure you always look to see whether it's complete or not. Don't bother spending time killing things unless you know you're going to make more money from the killing things. It's very rarely likely to be the case, but you'll learn. There is evesurvival.org, used to be a great place to look up mission information. So they actually have a lot of complexes, exploration sites, incursions, all detailed. Okay, burning down the hive. This is the one where most people lose their first ship. And I'm going to try and be very careful here, but I can't guarantee this isn't going to happen. You see, this is probably the first one where you get a target that has a warp scrambler. And if you get caught by it, then you can find yourself surrounded by hostiles, getting pounded, and have no way to escape. So you got to know which target is doing it, and you got to be careful to move around and make sure that you deal with them before anything else, or you keep them at range while you deal with the other one. So, okay, burning down the hive. That's to be sung to the tune of Burning Down the House by Talking Heads, of course. Okay, drone hive coming up in 0.14 AU. You see the distance. You can mouse over the speed and see the ridiculous speed you're doing here. See that? It's large numbers, basically. Okay, so they're all there. And so I'm actually going to see there that way, and I'm going to fly this way. Target a couple of things. And maybe fire up my afterburner. Says follow it. Oh wait, these are the easy ones. Aha, easy. Okay, next one. I'll maybe turn off my afterburner. Keep at range. Okay, so there's none of the... Keep at range 30. So there's none of the bad guys here that are particularly dangerous. What I am going to do is keep that up. But what you're looking for is the strain, I believe. Strain variants. And that basically means they are badass and they will kill you. Keep at range 30. Let's just keep them all targeted. Again, what is the range on this? Optimal range 14, fall off range 25. So I can hit these full damage from this range, and they're basically not hitting me. I'm not even having to orbit, I'm just simply beyond their range. These have a much slower firing cycle, but that means that each shot does a lot more damage. So they fire slowly but with a lot of damage and at quite significant range. Aha, here's this one, I'll kill him. Of course, you can do this mission in a traditional, run and burn style, orbit very quickly, kill things quickly. But, as I said, if you get close to the target in question, you have to be sure to kill it before you get swarmed by the rest of them. Okay. I think I should probably start heading for that acceleration gate now, because otherwise it's going to take me forever. Get at my guns. There, look at that. Another cycle of those weapons. Now you might actually find that as I'm coming down here, I'm getting my angular velocity will increase, my transversal will get too high, and I may actually miss this target. We'll see. Yep, oh, that was one shot. And then wait for the guns to cycle. You can tell the cycle rate by this little white line that goes around the outside. When this reaches the bottom, you've completed your cycle. Okay, 5 kilometers out. This one will probably miss. Oh, no, I was going to say it'd probably be missed, but it has not missed. Excellent. And that's that one gone. Okay, well, onward to the gate at best possible speed. Since there's no bad guys, I'm just going to turn off my hardeners to save on the power. Pardon me. We're still training tactical shield manipulation. No, actually I'm going to open this up. I double clicked on this. Open this up. This is the network being really slow again. This is might be what happens if you play it in a modem. You see, where was I training? Fuel conservation. I should move that up. And I should move up shield conservation. That will actually save me... it'll save me a lot of power. Okay. Oh, pardon me. It's a little better. 19 kilometers out. I should have just gone straight for the gate. Run and gun. Well, that's the way to play this. But I'm pretty sure burning down the hive is one where everyone dies. I mean, maybe they've changed it, but it used to be infamous for newbies losing their first ships in this mission. And I thought it was a good thing. I think it's good for people to learn to use their ships, lose their ships, especially since at this point, you know, you probably don't have enough ISK to buy a really expensive cruiser. The danger with cruisers is that you might take them into a mission with lots of frigates and then be totally unable to hit the frigates while they just grind you down slowly. That is why it's important to learn drone skills, because drones are how bigger ships deal with smaller ships. That and sitting at a really long distance and sniping them, but that's not always possible. Okay. Let's see if this is the one. Strain Infestor Alvi. So we want to keep these guys 30. Keep at range 30. These strain ones we gotta keep away from. Okay, wait a second. Yeah, let's go this way. This way, this way, this way. So we want to keep those guys out of range, because if they get on top of me, I'm gonna be stuck and I'm gonna be taking damage. Okay, gonna fly without afterburner. Just try and maintain range on them, right? 32 kilometers out is a little too far. Let my afterburner stop. Okay, let's sit at this range now. Oh, there. These guys are now targeting me. The drone has escaped through that acceleration gate. Follow it. Man, I really have an itch in my throat. Okay, see how they're all targeting me, but this group isn't. This is the one with the scary drones. All these strain drones, these are the ones you want to avoid aggroing. So by doing this one group at a time, I'm going to be able to keep this thing under control. Okay, there we go. And I'm just really trying to kill these very slowly, and I get this terrible thing in my throat right now. Pardon me. Okay, gonna edit that out, of course. Right, let's cycle those guns. Cycle those guns! Cycle those... Come on! There, keeping at range. And we'd want to make sure we don't let them get in too close, because then it's actually likely that they will be able to get under my guns. Artillery is not good at close range. Autocannons are great at close range, but artillery is not. Okay, render Alvi. What does it say about this? Rogue drones are high-tech drones that have the ability to manufacture themselves. Rogue drone 5s can be found throughout the universe of Eve, and are a constant menace to space travelers. Threat level very low, unless you get scrambled, in which case you could be in serious danger. Okay. Oh, well, I've stopped moving, notice. I'm just going to start flying again. See how, because the one I was keeping range from a certain one, and I killed it, it stopped doing that, so I'm just going to keep flying straight now. Oh, I like the sound of that. It sounded like a really cool explosion there. Next one! How's this hot lead treating you? Or titanium. It's titanium, isn't it? Titanium doesn't actually make for good projectiles, as I understand it, because it's all light. You know, and it's hard and light. They tend to like things that, you know, split, splinter, and self-sharpen, and liquefies, and other, you know, nasty things. Titanium just doesn't fit that bill. It's really good for building rockets and stuff, but not for building ammunition. At least as I understand it. Depleted uranium, on the other hand, that's the business. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on this, of course. Okay, let's start traveling towards Let's start travelling back towards this group. Now that I'm 70 kilometers out, I'm going to be very careful. So we have strain. 4 of them, right? These are dangerous. So I've got to figure out the best way to deal with them. And if I reload my titanium symbol, which I'm using because it tracks better. It has a bonus to tracking, which means it will hit the targets more often. Basically, if you want things that hit more accurately, you want high tracking, you want low signature radius on them, on the target. It doesn't actually show the signature radius. Oh yeah, damage caused 86 versus 257. That's not so bad. Keep at range 30. There, we're going to tell it to keep that at range. And if they start firing at me, I'm going to turn on my invulnerability field, but not before then, because of course conserving power until you need it is a good way to play this. Okay, and there we go. Let's start targeting. Nope. Come on! Come on. There we go. Now we got a few of them. It should turn around. I'm going to just point it this way. Turn around. Just double click. And let's pick this one. This one here, actually. And I'm going to fire up my afterburners now to keep range on it. Hoping that I don't pull too much range on it. I'm just wondering how efficient their electronic warfare system is. Ah, it's too far, it's out of range now. Okay, well, gotta hit this one next. They're kinda slow, aren't they? I guess it's this amazing Minmatar ship. This is being super cautious, that's really what's going on here. Okay, and they're really starting to come in now. Once they get within, I'm gonna fire this afterburner, I'm gonna pulse it for a cycle. To make sure that they don't get so close that they can activate their webs and their electronic, you know, their warp disruptors. So there. Now they're chasing me, and I'm just about keep pulling range on them very slowly. Which means they're exactly where I want them. I can just tear them apart, they can't get close enough to kill me, and they can't slow me down. If you get too close, what'll happen is they could actually scramble you. Okay, strain render LV. Actually, I'm going to hit him because he's already damaged. Always go for the ones that are weakest. Tear them apart one at a time, but always go for the ones that can be killed fastest. It's almost always the best way to do things. I mean, mathematically. There is a whole mathematics of war, and it turns out that you just want to completely outnumber your enemy. Anything less, and you run the risk of greater losses. If you split your forces, you must know what you're doing. Strain Infestor LV. Is this one? Yes, more rogue drones. So these ones don't look any different, that's the thing. They just look like the standard ones. It's kind of cool. Ooh, that's that one. Let's take a look at this one before I kill him. See, he's yellow box, that means he's still not in range to actually do anything here. Oh, nice! He's kind of animated there. They're just going to come in close and tear up my ship. I kind of wish that drones would do that, that the MO of drones would be to come in and like tear up your ship, just like in the Matrix, but nah, they just have guns. You see that he's shield boosting? Or he, she, it, he, I don't, are drones male or female? I mean, there's definitely a rogue drone queen. I don't know if there's kings. Okay, well these guys are now easy. That's great! Problem solved. Excellent. So now I can deal with these with my, at my pleasure. I wanted to take a look at the standings here, because what we've got going on here is, these are standing, this is basically how people like me. And I'm going to keep it range 25 as I try to target these guys. Turn off this. Now, the Sisters of Eve is the people that have been doing a lot of a lot of missions with, and you'll see basically that there's all these little standing changes. They're very small, but they basically push my standing up, and the maximum standing you can have is 10. And it's actually important for a lot of things. First of all, to get access to any agents, you have to be above -2, I believe. Or actually, that's not true. It used to be that you had to be above -2, but now you can access level 1 agents regardless. But to access level 2 agents, you need at least a standing of 1. And to access level 3 agents, you need a standing of 3. And to access level 4 agents, I believe you need a standing of 5. Could be wrong there. Things could have changed. I think that's I'm pretty sure that's how it works these days. So you want to raise your standing if you want to get the best missions. That's how the game works out. Oh, no more ammunition? Crikey. Okay, let's go to depleted uranium then. Guess I'm going to go all the way to the gate now. Of course, if you were in a Caracal or something, this mission would be really easy because you wouldn't have to worry about tracking. Missiles don't have to worry about tracking, but their damage is still affected by speed. It's just not affected by transversal velocity. So anyway, yeah, the idea is you want to run repeated missions for a corporation to raise your standing with them so that you can get access to their agents. Now there's another feature, whereas if you get it to level 8, then you can access jump clones. So that means you can place a jump clone in their station. This is quite a tall order unless you want to spend a lot of time grinding missions. So there are actually corporations which you can join, and these corporations maintain very high standings, right? I believe one is Estel Arador. Estel? Let's see if that's there. Corporations. Oh no, it's not here. Estel Arador Corporation Services, yes. So these guys, if you join them, they have high standings with lots and lots of different corporations. So the idea is you join them as a member. Very quickly, you can get yourself a jump clone in, wow, 1,092 places you can get a jump clone. And that's very useful. It means you have a spare clone that you can leave in one location. So you can have one set up for PvP and the other set up for missions, for example. Now, the trick is that they only let you stay for a short amount of time, because if you stay too long, then your standings will contribute to their corporation standings, and it will just ruin them. So it's a good thing to know about is this free service, free faction boosting service, free corp update service. Create as many jump clones as you want without any added cost. EACS operates on a universal scale. So it tells you want to train Infomorph psychology, you need to drop your rolls, you need to do all these other stuff. Yeah. So that's how that works. It's a useful thing to know about. Jump clones, you can have up to 6 of them, or you can have basically 5 other clones. Oh crap, bumped into things. Up to 5 other clones depending upon your skill level, and generally I use them where I have one that's set up in HiSec, which has a bunch of +5 learning implants, where my character will sit more or less safe during the week, and then I will have a jump clone set up like in the latest Warzone, and I'll have a jump clone set up in a system which is useful for harvesting money and various other things. But that's the way it works, and you can only jump clones every 24 hours or so. They're actually adding a skill to make it so you can jump clone more often. But when you do it, your jump clone can be anywhere in the universe, so it's also great for having business in HiSec and then business in NullSec. You can switch back and forth. Okay, we're going to go through this gate and hopefully not get killed by what's on the other side. We're chasing this rogue drone, that's the implication. This is the crazy ass rogue drone which has been making the other drones go even more rogue. Not really sure exactly why the drones are going more rogue. Okay, so what we have: mysterious drone. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if I can see it. What is this? Ooh, it looks like a... You'll never get the secrets of the rogue drone. What? Mysterious ship? What is this? Oh, and it's gone. Okay, well that lasted a long time. So now I need to kill these ones. I think. Oh, either that or maybe I don't. What does it say? Burning down the hive. I still have to do whatever it takes to destroy it. Okay, so I guess I need to hunt down and remove all the drones in the area. That's great. So no early escape from this mission. I have to just kill these things. And this guy, he's a cruiser, so he will be more dangerous. And I'm not really sure the best way to do this. I mean, actually I know the best way. The best way is to just keep them at range, but this guy will do more damage. Okay, so I'm just going to sit here, start targeting. Actually, yeah, if I keep this guy at range 30, then I should be able to just kill the other ones. And hopefully this guy won't be able to hit me. Actually, what I'm going to do is orbit this guy at 30 as fast as I can and hope the other ones don't hit me. Okay, you're going there. I'm going to kill you with guns. Nope, you're not going to die to my guns. Come on. Not doing the most damage to these things, am I? That's because I'm choosing to use very weak weapons with long range so that I didn't get caught up by the warp scrambling rats, because that would be nasty and painful and generally would cause me to lose my spaceship. This is another rogue drone here. I like it. It's just kind of going, give me, feed me stuff. Those things would... Wow. That was my gun shooting it, I think. There. You don't get to see the explosions, unfortunately, because it switches the focus away from the targets when you kill them. Ha ha ha. Let's orbit this maybe a little closer now. Oh look, I've trained fuel conservation, so that means my afterburners should take less fuel now, which would be nice. It means I'll be able to get a little more bang for my buck once I be trying to run away and not die at the same time. Decimator LV. Okay, let's kill this one because this is closest. Now this, this cruiser has obviously got more hit points, but a bigger bounty than all the other ones. And this guy's really coming in close, so he's the next target. Pretty much want to make sure you're not shooting at the ones that are too close, so try to kill them before they get close, simply because the tracking is not so good. But I don't think that's going to be a problem here, because the guns are relatively decent tracking to start with. I can't remember actually, because show info, let me just see. The Thrasher, does it get a bonus? It gets a bonus to small tracking speed. So these guns are actually tracking better than they otherwise would, especially when you consider that I have an extra tracking mod on there as well. So I'm able to hit these things for even more damage. So let's orbit it at 15 and kill it. Finally! Shoot this one. Maybe I could get in really close and just kill it, but I think... no, let's just kill it here. If I got within 5 kilometers, then I could start using my rockets, but I don't think that's going to matter. It's going to do a lot less damage than the 7 guns. One tiny rocket launcher, not much compared to 7 artillery weapons. 200mm and everything all the same. Well, now that I think that was the one where you have the scrambling rats. So I think we're safe from this point on, so I might switch back to regular short-range guns. I mostly did it so I could show you that the long-range guns have their uses, such as, you know, staying a long way away from things that will harm you badly if you are too close to them. And that is us. Let us head back to base. Burning down the hive, Agent Home Base, Arnon, Dock. There we go. What else is going on here? We talked about... Have I mentioned security status? There we go. Security status is 0.1. Yeah, I think I've probably mentioned this already. Basically, killing rats, killing NPCs pushes up your security status. Attacking innocent players, that pushes down your security status. If it gets too low, then bad guys or the police will kill you if it gets really high, then people will think you're a Care Bear that only ever shoots rats. So try to justify what you're doing. Do I have any more certificates? I don't actually care, really, to be honest. Pilot's license. This is something we really need to be thinking about, incidentally. Pilot's license, how much does it cost right now? 554. That's expensive. You can buy it for $15 or $20 and then sell it for $500 million ISK. That's how it's designed to work. Okay. Sister Alitura. Complete the mission. Yes. Now, request. He's supposed to be dead. Are you telling Dagon's been alive this whole time? Dagon was a pilot leading the fleet that the drones first destroyed, and a known terrorist. He was supposed to be dead. It's very important that he's made dead. The sisters consider this a top priority. Dagon is heading for a system in Minmatar space, which I know and love because it is my homeland. He can't have gone far. I'll connect you with Keita Estin, advisor to the Crucial tribe, which are crucial to this mission. She can help you track down Dagon. I've been to Minmatar space quite a few times myself. It's not bad there, but just be careful where you wander and what you say. Their way of doing things can be a little rough around the edges at times. But I've also never known a Minmatar to not get a job done. In case you don't know, the Crucial can be a little sly. Just make sure this one looks after your interests too. Still, I'm sure you can handle yourself. Okay, so as I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip off all these guns because I think we just want the regular guns now again. I'll sell these back to some unsuspecting person at some point. Sell. I'm not. I'm gonna undrag these out. Yes. And Heck is actually a good place to buy stuff. I believe. Actually, I fitted this thing out in Heck earlier, didn't I? So I'm gonna sell these here. So right click on the whole thing, stack all. 200mm autocannons. Gonna pick all of these up and fit them. Excellent. And I'm gonna take this off. And I think it's PNE. Yes, pneumatic stabilization actuator. PSA, public service announcement. Okay, is it 250 then? Yes, 250. Repackage. Yes. And stack everything again. Now I'm just going to sell this pile. So because I've stacked them all, I can sell them as a pile of 7, right? Sell this item. Now if I go to the market, I have the skills now to actually sell this as a legitimate item. So I can just accept, if I go to simple, right? I will get 5,000 ISK each, and that is a terrible deal. But if I go to advanced, and I look at the market, I can see that they're being sold for quite a range. I can see they're being sold for 150k. So I want to sell it for 149,999.99. Right, and I'll sell 7 off, and that'll make me 1 million ISK. You see, way better by setting this up. Now I can set the duration to 1 month. That means that it will stay there unless I change it for a month. I can set it for 3 months actually. Yeah, let's set it for 3 months. Not that I'll be around that long, but because I may not say continue this account. Okay, so what was the ammunition I had? Antimatter, thorium, tungsten. These are all the kind of ammunition used in hybrid weapons, and therefore not that useful to me. I should sort it by quantity. That's how to do it. Metal scrap. Oh, depleted uranium. There we go. Stick this on there, and then let's head to Heck. Get to Heck, sir. And waypoint. Accept. Make sure you accept for these missions before you leave, because if you get there and you realize that you haven't accepted, you will not be able to accept the mission remotely. You'll have to go all the way back, and then you'll be in trouble. I don't know. F11 brings up this little mini map, but I'm not using it. Okay, we have a long way to go now. So I need to think about what I'm going to say in the meantime. So yeah, actually, let's take a look at solar system, not people and places. Let's take a look at planets. Arnon Win. Show info. You can select here, view in planet mode. Oh, it's not available to the general public. Ah, yes, Arnon is not available to the general public because there's too many newbies here, so they don't let the average person use it. Okay, let's group all my weapons again using this convenient little button and reload some depleted uranium for the awesome. Okay, time to jump. Time to jump. Hundreds of light years across the... Actually, no, it's only a couple of light years. The Eve cluster is rather dense, it appears. The jump distances for capsule ships show you how close together things are, and they're really, really close compared to regular stars. Okay, Monarch. Maybe there's a planet here I can show in planet mode. View in planet mode. There we go. Let's see it. Loading planet resources. There we go. This is a nice... what kind is it? Planetary interaction. This is a... What is it? It looks like a temperate planet, I guess. And... yeah, this is how you basically... You know, what you do is you drop something on the surface. You drop like a command center on the surface. And then you can set up little networks of extractors. Let's see what we've got here. Scan. Let's see what it shows me. Nothing. No filter. Aqueous liquids. Oh, I must have the remote sensing skill, which I can't train because I'm not on... I'm on a trial. And trials don't let me do that. Let's return to regular view by hitting that little X so that I can fly through the gate with the greatest of ease. It's almost as if I'm on a flying trapeze. No, never mind. Okay. Now, continue this. This is going to be a really long way. Let's take a look. Assets window is a kind of interesting thing. I don't know if I've shown this one. But right now, okay, I have no assets in the Genesis region. The Genesis region, incidentally... in the beginning, all things were as one. God parted them and breathed life into his creation, divided the parts and gave each his place, and unto each bestowed purpose. This is possibly the Amarian, the Amarian religion. These are all the constellations and everything. These are constellations that are nearby and everything. Sanctum is a constellation in Genesis region as well. Yeah. Now, where is related solar... Adjacent... That's not what I want. I want to go back to Genesis. No, I can't go back to Genesis. Description. Constellation. Never mind. Let's continue. Oh yeah, look, here's something as well. Let's go here. Let's go to this ruined Minmatar outpost and see if there's anything here. Fighting for a nation still in its infancy, the stoic and indomitable people of the early Minmatar Republic suffered frequent and catastrophic losses at the hands of the much larger Amar Empire. Countless outposts on the edge of patrolled space fell to the scorching lasers of Amarian marauders. To this day, these structures remain as silent reminders of freedom's price. And I'm going to load... Okay, I'm going to load EMP. So this place has got some NPCs in it. You'll get a few of these locations in space. These are Blood Raiders, and they're not going to survive long against my guns. But I will orbit. Come on. Ooh, wow, he's hitting me hard. Let's do some... Oh, yeah, let's fire that. There, that's good. And this one... Good thing about my guns is they don't need capacitor. Because... Oh, orbit, orbit, orbit. These are destroyers. They're going to do a lot of damage to me, but... Now you see with my new skills, my shield boosters are remaining burning longer. Okay. Come on! Yes, range is very important. Range is extremely important here. I'm not even using my missile. Yeah, there's these like random places where you can just shoot rats occasionally. They're not that rewarding generally, but sometimes they're a reliable place to find certain classes of target. Okay, I'm going to turn this off now. Oh, he's a ways out. I don't need the missiles just yet. The missiles will not make that range, I don't believe. Yeah, 5,400 meters, whereas my guns, although that's at the extreme end of my range, they will in fact hit. Now let's see what happens. Oh, maybe we'll spawn some more bad guys. At which point, oh no, we won't. I'll just check out these wrecks now and steal what's left, so that I may take it home with me as a tribute for the lives lost at this ancient station there. It's basically a wrecked model of a regular Minmatar. Actually, there's two Minmatar stations here. You see that? There's one. These are both Starbase models. The difference is that they've put little holes in them. Small rudimentary. Ah, this is a, I'd say, small smart bomb. Smart bombs are things you should probably not use as a newbie because it's very easy to accidentally damage something which is totally innocent, and if you damage someone that's totally innocent, you will then have Concord drop by and kill you with extreme prejudice, because that is their job. Metal scraps, how dull. Yeah, these generally the exploration site or these sites aren't that interested. There's a few ones which have a number in their name. They'll say like 1 of 1 or 1 of 10 or 2 of 10. And these have the potential to drop very rare items. The problem is that people know where they are, and unless you know how where they are and how to run them, you'll have other players come in and very quickly get the good loot, and you will be left without it. Like there's a Minmatar biofarm, I believe. I can't remember the other ones. But the idea is those are called dead space sites, and level 1, 2, and even 3 ones are visible on the map as static locations. Anything above that appears randomly in scan, so you have to scan it down using astrometrics probes. But that's good, because sometimes you get in there and you get like a pith shield booster, and those are pretty good. Like let me see, small shield booster, and we have the faction of Dead Space. The 8, yeah, look, small shield boosters, right? So the B type comes from a high sec complex, right? 100 million if you find it, if you find one of these, and then the C type. Yeah, the B type and the C type, I guess, are still awesome. Yeah, B type exists, C type exists. They're quite easy to find. You just need to go to the complex and run the complex. The problem with them is typically there's a gate that is locked, and the key only spawns rarely. There will be like an overseer who you have to kill, and once you kill him, you'll get a key that lets you through the gate. And that means that if one person gets it, then no one else can follow them through. The gate, it is actually possible to fly between acceleration gates. In a lot of these complexes are about 10,000 kilometers apart. So even flying like at 10 kilometers per second, it's still going to take you the best part of 16 minutes or thereabouts. Now I have shield compensation, so I should be more capable of my shield boosting. Yeah, the thing is, those sites will also drop. They'll also drop other things. They'll drop like afterburners, which are nice. Micro warp drive, also nice. The shield booster is great. Shield transporter, fewer people care about those. So you have A type, B type, and C type. Yeah, so the C type afterburner, pretty cool. C type micro warp drive, not so cool. Not that interesting. And the C type nobody's selling these. I wonder if these are even seeded. It's entirely possible the items are listed in the game but aren't actually seeded. And Corelli, is it this one? Yeah, Corelli A-type afterburner. Yeah. So the Corelli are the Serpentis ones. You'll find these in Serpentis complexes, in Gallente space. And actually, Gallente space extends quite a few different locations. They have the afterburners and microwarp drives again, but they also have this plating. This increases armor resistances. They're pretty good to have. No. As we're flying along. Oh, you know what? Yeah, there's one other thing I wanted to show you. I showed you a bunch of sites earlier, which I didn't follow up on. If I go to social accessories, browser, and we look at .lan. Let's Google .lan and see if we can find it. Okay, gotta go to Google and actually Google it. .lan is kind of the definitive mapping site, and they're a great site to know about. So if we go in here, they have a map of the whole galaxy. Well, they don't actually have the map, but they have the regions hooked up. So I'm currently in the Sync Liaison region, right? Here we go. So there's the map. So it shows all the stuff set up. And you see the red ones bordered in red are low security systems. You can change this key if you like. This is Selene. This is an interesting one. The Selene system was one of the B-type stars that went supernova when all the gates opened. There was an event when Apocrypha went live, which was one of the expansions, there was a whole background story about somebody blowing something up that triggered a whole bunch of stars to go nova. And Selene, they took one of the planets and basically turned it into a broken planet. Okay, so let's see. Devon Caldari. Oh yeah, this is Essence. The Essence has some of the factional warfare stuff going on here. See how this is a Gallente Federation faction, but I believe, yeah, Federal Defense Union. Maybe not. Factional warfare, as I've mentioned, is a PvE. Well, it's basically a mission-style activity with PvP involved, and it's definitely worth doing. But it will. One of the things about factional warfare is, remember I showed you the standings page? It will kill your standings with the hostile faction. So if you're flying with the Caldari, your Gallente stats will go down, and you may never be able to run missions for them ever again, which may not be what you want to have happen. And get my insurance contract verified. You know what? I think this is as far as I need to go today. We have many more places to go. I'm going to finish this out. When I arrive, we will start making the next part. Until then, I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.